start with this. There is nothing intrinsically valuable about your program, your service, your business. Nothing. Because it depends on the utility that it provides for your clients. And even though we may have put hundreds and hundreds of man hours into creating it, it's not valuable until it creates impact. If we've not met before, I'm Jill Chitty, and we enable experts to create 5 to 10K months consistently using organic content on LinkedIn and also using email. So let me say that again. There's nothing intrinsically valuable about your business or product or service until somebody gets value from it, until one of your customers starts to have impact from that. Today, we're looking at why people buy. What is the psychology? And I'm no psychologist, but what's going on in our customers that makes them want to buy? So we're going to uncover some things that are going on. But first of all, let's just address pricing and buying, because I think we get hung up about this. Let's think about a logo. And if you can hear me, by the way, on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, in my private group, do please send a like or a chat just to let me know that you can hear me. So let's think about a logo. It's a fairly small, simple, easy piece to create. Some might argue with that. But an expert could probably do it in an hour. A decent logo in an hour or under. There's tons of tools out there. Excuse me, I've got something in my ear. Tons of tools out there to make logo creation fairly easy and straightforward. So should we just charge that hourly rate? Is it ethical just to charge that hourly rate? In that case, why do people pay £4,000 for a logo? And we'd all love to command that high figure number for our clients. So let's uncover some of the behavior that you will be experiencing on LinkedIn as people look at your content, as people look at your profile, as people have conversations with you. Humans are people of emotion. We're emotional beings, and because of that, every single decision that we make is based on emotions. And if you consider how you scroll on the LinkedIn home feed, for example, you will have this theme running in your head and looking for relevance. People call it the what's in it for me, the WIIFM. We're looking with that WIIFM mentality. Is there something in here that's for me? Is there something relevant for me? And that leaves us clues. That means that our messaging has got to match that frequency of what's in it for them. There's a famous saying, and please let me know, I can't remember who it's by, where somebody said people buy with emotion and justify with logic. It's a big truth. Who here hasn't bought something and thought, oh wow, this is it, this is going to be the answer, and then later on thought, oh darn it, I've been had again. I shouldn't have made that. I do that with books. Sorry, I'm just turning my stuff down. I do that with books all the time. I think, oh, this is brilliant. That's going to fill the gap in my knowledge. And then it sits on my bookshelf unopened. So Why do people buy? The obvious reason, the surface reason is there's a need. They want to grow their business. They want to feel more healthy. They want to sleep better. They want to understand how to create emails that everybody opens. They want to be able to engage their staff and understand their staff. But we need to play to those deeper, unconscious issues. That there's a problem they need solving and a pain they need removing. That's the emotion. Okay, oh, sorry, Carolyn, you couldn't get in via LinkedIn. I'm pretty sure I'm on. Apologies. So this has got to be our focus. That we connect with them on this emotional level. It's not that we're going to be manipulative. It's just understanding that if we want to create impact with people, this is what we are going to need to focus on. Now, I bet, thank you, Claire, I bet there is some connection that you've got right now on LinkedIn who remembers one of your pieces of content that resonated with their situation. They nodded in agreement, they hit the like button or the love button. And if they didn't resolve that issue that you were addressing in your post, chances are their situation has got even worse. A high chance. So who do you think they're going to think of when they get to the stage where they've got no option but to deal with it? They are going to think about you. Why? Because you resonated with something that's deeper than the surface level. It touched something in them. It made them feel something. And out of making people feel something, we are inviting them to make a decision. Now, most of us make decisions unconsciously, and we do it from a position of what's missing or what we haven't done or the mistakes that we've made in the past. There's another big clue in that. And so that's what they've not yet managed to achieve. So that gives us a clue that most of us are thinking of the negatives when we're surfing, when we are potentially looking at something that we want to buy. So we can tap into that and wake people up to the impact that you create in your business. So as you look at your profile, think about writing content, we need to make a shift, a really clear shift from talking about the nuts and the bolts of our programs and services, talking about us in a way that is really hitting them with all of that head stuff. And we need to make that shift. And if it's corporate, it's often hard to break out of that. And as small businesses, it's so easy to pivot and talk about those underlying, not necessarily talk about, but speak into those underlying feelings, those subconscious feelings that are driving people and make people buy. We're talking about solving real problems for real people. Now, I was going to give you 8 reasons why people buy, and I looked at it and I thought, you know what, this is a bit dry. I don't want to do this. I sounded very Gloucester then. I'm from Gloucester. So I've got 8 areas on LinkedIn where I'm going to show you how we can create that change from just talking about who we are and what we do to really resonating with people so that they take the next step. And that's all we can ask, isn't it? We want to engage people so that they take the next step. Okay, the first section, let's go to your profile. The first section is the banner. Did you know that typically we have 3 to 5 seconds to really grab people's attention. And visually, most people's banners are weak and they say nothing. We always look visually, our eyes will always go to images. So your banner is your first big opportunity of being able to visually tap into that pain. And we want to qualify or disqualify people. You don't want to work with everybody. You don't want everybody booking a call. I've done that. I've done that in the past. It's such a time waster and a drain. But what we do want is to create some visuals. Now, it could be text visuals, it could be image visuals that lets people know, hey, you're in the right place. Hey, now you're here, we can solve this problem. So it means before we even start looking at things like profiles and creating a content map, is understanding your clients really, really well. And having that written out is a marvelously powerful point of reference. When we keep it in our head, it's very transient. We forget it, we move from it. So your first port of call is your profile. It needs to speak powerfully to your profile visitors and let the right ones know that you can impact. Hey, you're in the right place. This is what we're here to solve. This is what we're here to transform, and this is how we can help you. If we move down, excuse me, if we move down to the headline, super important piece on LinkedIn, it's the piece that shows up more than any other part of your profile. First of all, we need to grab their attention. So it has to be something totally relevant, but also it needs to be explicit. It needs to clearly compel what it is that's in it for them if they take the next step, which means reading, scrolling down and reading some more of your profile. So simplicity and being clear is probably the key. Now, it's much easier to write 100 words than 5. And I would suggest that you get really good at distilling what you want to say, right down to the very basics. And remember, we're not talking just about the surface needs. We want to tap in to those feelings. So grab their attention, compel them to read on. Moving further down the profile, we've got your about section. And the mistake that I see so many people make, and so I read hundreds of profiles every week, probably not every week, every month. And over the years, I've reviewed thousands of profiles. And the biggest mistake that they make is they tap into, or they talk about, themselves. And LinkedIn is this massive introductory platform, and people don't care. People really don't care yet. So we have to put them at the heart, as the hero of our about section. If you've read any of Donald Miller's brand story books or watched his videos, this is what he talks about. By putting them at the center, we enable them to get that what's in it for me. We create our stories on our about around them. And it builds trust. It builds an understanding that we understand them. And that is a huge emotional deposit in the bank for us. When you hear somebody describe your world and you know that they get you, it's incredibly powerful. So your about section is where you really make people feel something. You describe as if you're a fly on the wall, the situations they're in. And hey, this isn't going to be difficult. because most of us have started businesses that have come out of some pain and struggle and hardship. So we know that journey back then because it was our journey. So tap into those emotions. So that's your about section. You've got to make them the hero. You've got to make them feel something. What about that featured section? I love the featured section on LinkedIn. You only get it if you're, well, if you're in creator mode, it goes to the top. So it's like a billboard, just shouting out what you can do. This is a place where you let them know, hey, here is where and how we can solve your pain. So it's making it really clear. It's completing the circle. You've highlighted there's an issue here. There's a pain here. There's something lacking here. And here's where you can get it. So let's go to content. Content is probably the thing that people speak to me about first and speak to me about most. And it's something that really grabs the attention, not only of your network, but also beyond your network. So it's a place where you are joining that conversation that's already going in people's minds. You want, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. You want to be talking about the stuff that really matters. You want to be thinking and showing maybe different perspectives from what people have thought about. But it needs to be a place where they can go, yeah, I do that. I feel that. I experience that. I can totally relate to this. That's when you'll start to get lots of engagement. And, engagement actually does not mean clients, but it's a really good start to broadcasting on a wider basis what you do. And so if you look at the kind of posts on LinkedIn that get very little views, it's hey, it's Christmas jumper day. One of my bugbears. Oh, yeah, great. So what? We've just got a new team member. We've moved offices. You'll find the people that engage with those kind of posts are the team itself or somebody that knows the team. It doesn't have that wider appeal. But the stories that grab the attention are the ones where they are showing a completely different side of how to do something or why you should be doing something, where people are talking about their story because we can relate to that, about their feelings. So in terms of content, it's a huge opportunity to join conversations, to start conversations. So really, really key. And I think for a lot of us, there needs to be a shift in what we're talking about. Okay, call to actions. We did a lot about this in my membership back in April. And one of the things that we explored was, yes, call to action is really, really important. But what about adding in a call to feel or a call to benefit? So much more powerful when you are reading through somebody's profile and then there's this, hey, let's take action, and it really resonates. When you are popping a call to action at the end of your content, and it's that gets you, because you've got something you can respond to then. So call to feel and call to benefit are probably far more powerful than a simple call to action. How do we want people to feel? How do we want people to respond? So a couple more comments. If you've worked with me ever before, you'll know I am a huge proponent of comments. And this is where we can make people feel supported. It's not that we're ever talking emotionally. It's not that we're talking, always about feelings, but actually we are picking up on those underlying things in decision making. If you're in B2B, in running a business, if you are in wellness, it's in, you might want to be talking about those underlying reasons of what stops the majority, what stops the majority of people continuing in their wellness and sort of healthy habits. So with your comments, we can come alongside people. We can make them feel really supported. We can add greater insight. We can add a different perspective. And of course, that all brings trust. I've had several people who followed me, and whenever I posted something, they tried to jump on the post and sabotage it, to try to get something out of it themselves. It made me laugh, but actually it made those that were commenting on my network very, very cross and angry. But if we can get alongside people in the comments and be a great proponent of supporting and adding a different perspective, we've all got unique perspectives. It's incredibly powerful for people. Do you know what they're going to do? They're going to check you out. And your profile is the converter. Not that you'll convert people straight to a client, but you'll convert them to that next little step. And then finally, we want to look at the inbox and how badly people are using this inbox, because this is a place where you just come alongside somebody, where you come alongside them in agreement. Yeah, noticed your post. Yeah, that's tough, isn't it? I think you did really well. I'm not sure I would have been able to do that. Just a conversational, just normal conversational support on that emotional level. Now, we've just met people. We don't really know people, but we can just bring awareness into the inbox. Because when you sell or when you push something in somebody's inbox that they've not requested, you stop the relationship immediately and it will rarely continue. So by coming alongside them in the inbox, we're saying, I'm here for you and it's not about me. That is incredibly powerful. That touches on something deep within. It makes us feel safe. So we're more likely to respond and have conversations. So you can see we can reframe what we're doing on LinkedIn simply by remembering that unconsciously people are looking for what's missing. They're looking to right and correct the mistakes that they've made. They're looking to resolve that pain or that issue they have. And every decision is made out of emotions, out of feelings. And so what we do with my clients is we then take them through a journey where there's a clear offer of what it is that they can do for who you do it for, what you do and how you do it. Again, it's really, really simple. Who do you impact? How do they achieve it? What do they need to master in order to move away from that pain? And that's usually what your course is about, isn't it? What do people need to do? So crafting a journey, once you've got all these components of LinkedIn right, so that people can step onto your marketing journey and then start to experience deeper and deeper value, so that they get to a stage where it just doesn't make sense for them not to buy. They're fully in emotionally. Their eyes are wide open because you've informed them clearly and precisely what it is you do. And they're ready. They're ready to step in with you. Now we have a download that we've we've been working on with clients. It's called the Buyer's Journey. Happy to give that to you. Just put Buyer's Journey in, or yes please, or download, and one of the team will make sure that you'll get it today. But I want you to just remember that it's a big shift to make from talking about your business, but to talking about that under the skin stuff that maybe some of us shy away from. But it's how you operate, it's how you buy, it's how you get your needs met. So you're going to be doing people a disservice in your business and on LinkedIn if you don't communicate from this level. So I'm heading off now to spend a lovely weekend, another long weekend with my goddaughters and my best friend in London. In London? No, that was a few weeks ago, in Leicester. And I wish you all the best. In the UK, we are, it's coronation weekend. So I'm pretty sure that the girls will have planned would have planned something special. So I hope whether you're watching the coronation or you're just enjoying the time off, I wish you well, and God bless to you all. And we'll see you next week for another exciting chat about LinkedIn. Tons of love to you. Bye-bye.